So now to your question of the week. How do we, the manufacturing industry, ensure that we attract and retain the best talent in such a competitive employment landscape?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a segue from my previous answer. But actually, you know, that's been a massive thing for me. I think the people agenda, certainly in this business, it's been there, but it's not been as strong as I would like it to be, and that's something that we've really worked on. And again, I guess the pandemic is forcing all of us to look at things like culture and our people, and making sure that our people fundamentally are safe and feel comfortable in their workplace, you know, given the year that we've just had. But actually, you know, what we're starting to see now, and lots of my kind of, you know, peers in this area, we're starting to find that it's, you know, the employment market is getting tough. I know, you know, from a professional services standpoint, there was a great article last week by the global leader of Deloitte talking about the great resignation. You know, it feels like the power really sits with the employees at the moment. We've got, you know, certainly from a manufacturing standpoint, we've got real kind of skills shortages in certain areas like forklift drivers, and you know, I know that CNC operators are a perennially difficult sector to kind of fish in. So, like, you know, broadening out that question to all of us in the manufacturing industry, actually we're competing with other slightly more kind of glossy industries that have sometimes better PR than us. So how do we step up and really make sure that we're at the forefront of driving that people strategy to really attract people into the industry as a whole, so they don't just disappear off to do like software or, you know, other fancy things. So I mean, I guess in my mind, I was thinking about kind of, you know, it's all good and well posing the question this morning, and you know, you could have a massive debate on it. But I guess to me, it comes down to making sure that all of us manufacturers are really getting kind of caught up with the kind of modern thinking around kind of strong culture and developing that, and you know, keeping toe to toe with those other competitor industries who are probably a little bit more mature, maybe. Again, looking at people's strategy. So how can we cope with having a split workforce but still afford parts of our business, you know, things like flexibility, things like, you know, really good learning and development strategy to make sure that our staff feel like this is the place to come and work and be developed and, you know, come out of it a better person. I think again it comes up back to us as manufacturers to play up our industry capabilities and the amazing things that we're capable of doing, and just getting us back into the limelight again and really making best use of the current spotlight that feels like it's on us. And I think there's a, you know, again, going back to skills and things, I think there's also, you know, certainly from what we're trying to do here in our local area, is really getting into those kind of early year recruitment strategies. So how are we supporting our local schools and getting that kind of awareness up in our, you know, our future workforce, to make sure that they're really aware of what their skills could lead them on to, and what amazing opportunities they've got sometimes on their doorstep that they might not even know about as they drive past an industrial estate, not really thinking about what goes on behind the doors. And I think another really big thing with that, you know, I'm really passionate about apprenticeships. I think they're an amazing mechanism. I think we've got some great funding and great incentives out there at the moment. So we're certainly using our apprenticeship levy to both attract in new apprentices. So we've got 4 new apprentices joining us at the moment. Various things from kind of business admin through to, you know, CNC operation and things like that. So you know, you can use that apprenticeship levy and that apprenticeship incentive, but also you can use the levy to upskill your existing workforce, which we're definitely using as well, because, you know, the help is there. So how do we as an industry make sure that that becomes a really attractive tool, both to our employees and to other employers, to try and grow that talent pool and really make apprenticeships work again? So again, I saw a really good local news article talking about the fact that this year's university application run is going to be massive. So the advice was that the kids need to start thinking about alternatives to university. Another great example of where we've got conditions that are right for us to really kind of sing up as an industry and talk about things that are really important to us, and use the current kind of climate to get what we want effectively.
Yeah, I think it's a common kind of question, a common talking point, I think, on a few of these spotlights has been that skills shortage, and, you know, talking about apprenticeships and generally the as you said, the kind of combating, or not combating, but kind of almost going toe to toe with these other more glamorous kind of industries that are seen as being, you know, as you said, sort of fancy and kind of you know, slick and whatever, and engineering is sort of seen as this kind of grubby, mucky, dirty afterthought that, well, if you can't do this, maybe go and do an engineering career, which is absolutely not, you know, not fair, or a kind of
yeah,
a real thing, is it? Like when I think about some of my friends who've gone into engineering, like I've got friends who are now working with people like McLaren, and you can't tell me that designing the Arturo and you know, all these electric vehicles, that's not glamorous. Like that's pretty impressive in my opinion. Like, you know, and even if you're not working for these kind of big manufacturing companies like McLaren or whoever, even on the smaller scale, as you said, it comes down to culture at the end of the day. In any kind of workspace, you're going to be there for the majority of your life, really. So you want to make sure that kind of culture fits with you, and that it's a comfortable place, that the people you're working with are like-minded, and that's what it boils down to, really. And the rest of it is, like I say, it's just PR, isn't it, end of the day?
It feels like it. It definitely feels like it. And again, you know, you sort of, you know, some of the stuff that we've done, you know, I'm really proud. We've got a great head of HR that's come on board and is really driving our people strategy. So I'm really proud of some of the stuff that we've done lately. And somebody said to us the other day, "Oh, you're quite progressive for a manufacturer." And you think, God, that says it all, doesn't it? Because there's just this natural assumption that we're all still stuck in about 1975,
Yeah.
and it's all kind of, you know, dust coats and sweeping the floor, and you know, there's a real thing that we've got to debunk here. And you know, yeah, you've got to, you know, maybe it is for us to like draw on the slightly sexier manufacturers like McLaren to help us with that.
You know, maybe, but I mean, like I say, when people have that "for a manufacturer" tacked onto the end, you know that's going to be the problem, isn't it? It's all about how people are seeing manufacturing.
Definitely.
But yeah, that was really good. I think that was a really good session. I think we had a good company spotlight here. Thank you so much for joining me for my first company spotlight, Katy. Katy Davies, Managing Director of CamdenBoss Ltd. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great to chat.